What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Let's just get straight into it. Let's preview Port Adelaide's loss to Fremantle by 8 points in and what ended up being an absolute nail biter at Perth Optus Stadium, and we went down again with some chances late. Across the game, it was quite interesting how it all panned out. But let's get straight into it and let's review this week's game. Well, after witnessing that, I just want to simply say I hate the word hope. Hopes and dreams, were pretty exciting last quarter. To fight back the way we did was pretty good. That shows the character of the team and the way we were able to fight through a bit of adversity as well. Lockie Jones going down with injury, and Houston, I think, has done a calf or something like that. So to grit through in a hostile environment and come back from where we were is one of the few positives. But overall, you look at the course of the game, to go down the way we did after having a great start and not really being able to capitalise on opportunities we had. And Fremantle were just very, very good. Simple as that. Their midfield, led by Brayshaw, Fife had an influence. Rory Lobb kicked 5 goals. He never kicks 5 goals in a game, but it seems to be against us. Their form is found, and Sarong was good. Down back, they had Logue, who was fantastic, and I think Luke Ryan, Young as well, who took a fantastic mark. All of these kids that were standing up, Frederick, Walker, they were all great. And then Schultz was able to stand up for Fremantle, and just players you can continually name. They were able to stand up, and their pressure was fantastic across the second and third quarter. They matched it with us in the first quarter. I think our fast start was deteriorated a little bit by a couple of things in the middle, and the midfield dominance happened in the second and third quarter. Besides Ollie Wines and Travis Boak, who had very good games of footy, we were quite convincingly dominated. And in the end, you can't really do much about the ruck situation. You either bring in a very raw Dante Vicentini, or COVID has hit Hayes, and Lysette wasn't quite available. So there's things to think about, and the wrap up of this game is just simply our season is done. We're 2 games out in percentage with 6-7 games to go now, and the hope is just simply lost. I think now more than ever we have to look at different things we can do to improve the way we go about for the rest of the season. Obviously we've got a tough run, and it's very easily that we can fall away from this and not be able to make anything of it. And we're not going to make much of it, but with a tough run, it does become quite difficult and can turn a season like this into something worse than what it probably should. And I think that statement's already been made when we were 0-5 after the first 5 games. So, I don't know. It's hard to really think about what's next for Port from here on. This was really the chance. This was the opportunity. This is a game we pinpointed. Freo were gettable at Optus Stadium. Haven't beaten them over there. It was a chance that we blew, and we started well. As I said, the second and third quarter we just didn't do much with it. Freo matched us and probably raised the bar a little bit, especially in that second quarter. And then we got to the last quarter, which we flicked back on again. And for a second, I thought we were genuinely a chance to win. But you come down the last couple of minutes, and our pressure was ferocious. Our press was great. The way we held it in our forward 50 and our forward half was elite. It was Port Adelaide of finishing top 4 in 2020 and 2021. And the chances we had, the simple chances we had, was quite, it's tough to take when you've got Todd Marshall and Robbie Gray, who are 2 people you'd probably pinpoint to kick those goals. Todd Marshall's the most accurate kick at our team and pretty much the most accurate forward in the comp. Misses a sitter, really, and then you look at Robbie Gray, who's Mr. Clutch, and first game back after a few weeks off, and didn't have much of an impact, but I thought, when they moved him into the middle, he actually did a few nice things and got our game going in the midfield a little bit more. And it does frustrate me when people say Robbie's done, when there's a role there that he's there to play for, and he's not doing it to the best of his ability, but he's still doing it enough to suggest it can change a game. And it happened in that second quarter where we got a couple of goals back, and he was making an influence in the middle, but you're just expecting to kick those now. And that conversation will come about Robbie Gray, but I'm not going to start that right now. I think his that set shot was just a bit of a nightmare. I just can't explain much more. It's just heartbreaking. Just the season's done after 16 rounds. What hope? What excitement do you have? Is it individual hope that you can bring apart? What games are you going to pinpoint and look forward to? Do you target winning for the rest of the season and still give it a red hot crack? Do you suggest Ken Hinkley we keep looking at the ladder? I'm not going to sugarcoat this as much as it should be. Like, it's disappointing. It's shattering, and it can't keep losing. The simple games that we've lost over the year that we should probably win, and we didn't do that. And now you get another opportunity to make a big statement in Perth against Fremantle. We're an informed side. We were capable, and we didn't do it. But that's that, isn't it? On to another positive. I thought Jace Burgoyne, his debut, he looked very rusty. I won't say rusty. He looked very unsettled early, I think. The way he went about it, he was trying to do too much with the footy. He was trying to be perfect in that first quarter. And some of the fans, man, really was just... I look at the comments and I think you just don't know what you're talking about. Like, it was just really disappointing to see, he's playing terribly. He's awful. He doesn't know... He shouldn't be at this level. The kid had nearly 20 touches in the game. He was well at home after quarter time. He was hitting targets. He was playing smart footy, running and carrying, very good one-on-one, and everything is going to come his way. Like, he's not going to be perfect straight away, and I think that's the idea of the Burgoyne name. All of a sudden, we got a Burgoyne. We're going to have a Silky player. We're going to have a Peter type, a Sean type. Let him be himself. Let him be his natural game, and he came out in that second half, and he was pretty important to how we delivered the footy inside 50 in that last quarter as well. And the link-up play, he was very, very impressive. So well done, Jace, in his debut. Jackson Mead as well. First goal in AFL footy with a fantastic mark inside 50. Was just phenomenal to see. These kids were standing up. I thought Bergman's game to come in late. He was not playing half an hour before the game. Dersma pulls out. Bergman comes in, warms up, plays the full game. Looked at home, I thought. Just one of those players that I think once he plays AFL footy, he's just naturally suited to that type of pressure and the way the game's played. So I thought that was really, really good by him. And then you look at the other end of the spectrum, Boak, Wines, fantastic in the middle. Dixon in that last quarter seems to have an impact in the ruck, and he was having a pretty dirty day beforehand, missing a couple of set shots, but then kicks 2 freak goals. I just don't understand how our big men kick goals from weird angles and weird positions, but we can't kick a 30-metre drop punt on a set shot. Mind-baffling, to say the least, but again, important last quarter. But in the end, I'm just simply just going to state that all these efforts seem to succumb to nothing, and that's what, you could talk about it, you could review it, but overall, I think we're just all flat, Port fans, and that's the way it's just going to be this week until we play GWS, and they're coming off a good win against Hawthorn, so it's all in our hands still to perform at a level that I think we can do and make something out of it. This is 2015, 2016 spec, where you're playing for your season, but you're not really going to be doing anything with it. So a lot of players will start to think about they're playing for their careers. A lot of players will start to think about maybe moving clubs, and Port Adelaide are going to have that conversation with a few elderly players, and obviously, you got to talk about the coach and his position and Ken's where we stand with him. And I know a lot of fans are standing against him, which is completely their opinion. I'm not going to take part in that conversation because change is going to come regardless of what happens for the rest of the year. So there's no point me making my 2 cents on that. I'm just going to review the game. And all right, Port fans, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the game and what for next. It's going to be an interesting one, to say the least. So I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say in the comments. But overall, let's keep writing this one out. So subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Anthony, and as always, come to pair.